Just have a quick sharpen up before we crack on today. I've got a tree in the woods to take down as part of the thinning, and I'm figuring it will get hung up. So why don't we just do a winching exercise? But of course, the first thing you need is a sharp saw, and this is fairly sharp, but I've done a couple of trees and I did that dog tooth cut, which you could see was nice sharp saw. But just to wipe over, just to bring it back, because you never can tell until you look. That one has just got a little bit of ding on the corner. So I'll just crack on with this. We're nearly round one side already. And then I'll do the other side. Then I'll get back to you. Right, here we go. It's an ash and the ground is sloping, so we've got to be aware of that. And the crown is a bit tight in amongst all that lot, and it's quite small, so, and it's leaning slightly towards the right, but I'm going to attempt to do a standard felling cut on this. Small sink cut, it's bound to get hung up. Yeah, so let's try having two cameras and see what happens. So we'll hire that side, so we'll have to work to that side, and it's higher at the back a bit, so I will have the sink up a bit higher. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. So let's go round the other side, and we're going that way. So on the end of the hinge, that's where you stand, and spread them so you're nice and stable, and support the saw with this elbow on that knee. Don't do that, do that, because you're less, when you're like that, you're leaning forward. If you're supporting the saw on that knee there, then you're more stable. So there we go, and I was aware it was moving, but it was moving slowly, and you can just look round and see where the nose of the bar is coming. I just reorganised the angle that I was felling at back there. Let me just zoom in. There we go. I could see that although I was going to be level with the sink cut, I wanted to be slightly higher. So I pulled the saw out a bit and just changed it slightly. Just changed the way the saw sat. And you hear that crack? Something's happening up there. So nice parallel hinge. So now we've got it hung up. We've got to remove some of the hinge. So let's reposition the cameras. So I'm just looking up at this crown. I'm going to have to grab hold of the camera. There we go. One fork is in one tree, one fork is in another. It might roll out, but I can't tell which way it wanted to roll. Maybe to the left, because that's in a finer crown on the left. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove 80% of the hinge from this side, and let's see what happens. So danger zones in front, behind, and if it's going to roll a certain way, then that's the danger zone as well. But I've already said I can't tell which way it's going to roll, so therefore we'll remove some hinge and see what happens. We've got a nice clear escape route here. We don't stand there and we don't stand there. We don't walk through there. So let's have a go. Let's just have a look, see how we're doing. Oh yes, perhaps a little bit too much. And it might roll out. Where's that felling lever? So, it's opened up this side, so it really wants to roll that way. I don't think this is going to spin, but we'll try. Oh, I don't know. Okay. You're going to get an example of both because it's really hung up now. So now we do need to winch it back. So the first thing to do is to remove the remainder of that hinge, that 20%, which actually looks more like 10%. So I'll get the winch set up and then we'll winch this out. So it's chokered round the bottom as low as possible, and this shackle here, the pin's not totally tight, so that if anything spins on it, it won't really tighten it up. Now I know you old boys would just go, just cut bits off the bottom, but I want this piece of timber in a whole length. And also there are the rules, aren't there? Don't cut bits off the bottom, don't climb it, don't fell the tree that it's hung up in, don't work underneath it, don't walk in the danger zones. At the end of the day, don't leave it unless you've labelled it, signed it and cordoned it off. Tell your supervisor, get a forestry machine or something in to pull it down. All those sort of options. So there you go. So that's why we're winching it rather than cutting bits off the bottom. So I know you'd be going, it's only firewood, just cut bits off the bottom, but we're doing it right. So that's that. Now we've got the winch sorted out. The cable is not tensioned. So we've got the strops fairly high on this tree. I'll just jiggle them a bit so that they're higher. So you want to be able to pull upwards, so you're not encouraging the base of this tree to start ploughing and digging in. If you were to pull horizontal, that's what it would do. So that there wants to be a bit higher. So let's reposition the cameras. So here we go. Put some tension on the cable. So we have the cable tensioned, and it's a 1.5 ton pull, 1.5 ton lift winch, and the 2 ton strops, and the weak point is the shear pins in here. So if anything's going to break, those will go, and that is the pull-in lever, that's the pull-out lever. So let's just see what happens. And it's not hard work, and as you can see, you can lay the winch down if you want. And away it goes, gently. Some of you have might seen me using this winch to lower the Proven turbine. So here it comes. When we've been assessing, there we go. Go on. No, it doesn't want to. When we've been assessing medium tree from time to time, you have to get a medium tree which is up to that size, hung up and winched down. And sometimes this cable's only a 10-metre cable. If I'd had to use my cables, the people, if it's spruce or something like that, they've had to reset the winch, because the tree just keeps coming, but it won't come out the crowns. Hopefully that's not the case here. I think it's hung up in a bit of a horrible cherry. But it's not hard work, which is grand. We're trying. Very. We're running out of cable. Go on. There's a foot of cable left. There we go. Oh. That's it. I think it wants a good shake now. So it's still wanting to hold on. I kept my feet and legs well away from that. But there you go, we got it down. Now I can deal with that. Very good. Right, hopefully you found this entertaining, interesting, informative and what have you. And please like and subscribe, and I will catch up with you very soon. Cheers for now.